The whole point of making this record was to introduce this music to people my age who kind of written this music off as their parents' generation, their parents' music, and it kind of bums me out that I didn't grow up listening to the likes of Cat Stevens and Joni Mitchell and so on and so forth. But you kind of have to throw away all of those reservations and just say, you know what, this is my love for the music, and I've just discovered these artists, and people my age need to be more aware of this music and what they're missing out on. And that's kind of what I kept in mind when being in the studio and working on the album. The amazing thing about this record for me is every song that I set forth to record, I did. And I'm passionate about, and I'm proud of them, because these songs are just too wonderful to kind of pass up on.
Just stretched for the stars, and you know how it feels to reach too high. Come here, baby, from a whisper start.
I think when I I just want to give you a quick tour of my home for 8 weeks of this year. This is the studio I did the whole record and the whole coverage record, so let me show you around. It's not too big, it's quaint, it's intimate, but it works. John Fields, this is his garage that he's converted into a studio. He was a producer on the record. His keyboards, his synthesizers, his computer where everything was done with Pro Tools and everything. All the console, board stuff, guitars. He has these nice little fabric walls that kind of make it very homey and very psychedelic and 70s-ish. He has his collection of guitars on the wall and behind you, and his Wurlitzer. The Wurlitzer was used on, gosh, like probably 6 or 7 of the songs on the record. This was my vocal booth. That was my home, my little baby. And this glass door here is so not soundproofed. So I recorded the whole record with John Fields, the producer, and John, my manager. So the two of them were always out there whenever I did a good take, or whenever they didn't like something, or they had some sort of idea for something they wanted to tell me about afterwards. I could hear everything. I could hear all of their conversations through this. So I would have to stop a take and go, guys, you just ruined the take. Completely ruined it. But yeah, the cool thing is we would take the laptop right here, and I had the lyrics kind of committed to memory for every song, but just to make sure and just to kind of have backup if for some reason, you know, closing my eyes to sing and the lyrics escaped my mind for a second, we always pulled up the lyrics. I'm lazy, so when I have time off, I like to stay at home. I'm addicted to TiVo, actually. I love being a couch potato when I have the opportunity. I love collecting vintage t-shirts. That's my new hobby of sorts, vintage t-shirts, and anywhere from thrift stores to vintage t-shirt shops, like specialty shops. I've recently gotten into training and running and lifting weights and doing all of that stuff that everyone hates to do, unless you're not normal. I actually have fun with it. I have a trainer, and she's become one of my best friends, and we have a lot of fun together, so it's not all work. It's a little bit of fun, too. I think I feel like I can earth it up. Dig some earth, that's what I feel like doing.
Step it up.
I kind of like that. All over, all over, all over, all over.
I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble and whenever you're
I Feel the Earth Move was a song that I'd heard growing up, but didn't know who Carole King was, didn't know that Carole King sang it, didn't know anything about Tapestry. It's so groovy, and it was one of those songs that, all the songs are perfect in the form that they're in originally, but it was one of those songs that I just wanted to make a bit more contemporary, a bit more now.
Dude, there's some soul in this song.
For sure. 1, 2, 3. I usually came to the studio dressed casually like this, but There was the occasional day I came in, you know, like pajama bottoms and Ugg boots and a tank top, and I was ready to go in. You don't really care. Leave all your inhibitions at the door. Just come in and be creative and have fun and don't put pressure on yourself. I always show up to the studio with my own Gatorade and a bag of Lay's potato chips because I liked the Gatorade when I was in the studio. Always had water as well, but Gatorade, for some reason, I felt better. It hydrated me a little bit more, and it made me feel good after I'd been singing for a couple of hours. And the chips, the salt and the grease in the chips kind of helped coat my throat and coat my vocal cords too while I was in the studio, and my voice was starting to get a little bit raw. It was a temporary remedy, a temporary fix, so this is it. It just has such a great, warm, homey vibe, and you know, we keep the doors open most days when we're recording unless traffic got a little too loud. This is where all the creativity and inspiration was flowing for 2 months, and it was good times. I wouldn't change anything that I've experienced and gone through in the past 4.5, 5 years. My life has been a total blessing. If someone would have pulled me aside 4.5, 5 years ago and said, this is what your life is going to consist of, and at 19 years old, this is where you're going to be, I would have laughed. I mean, I obviously wouldn't believe what they were telling me, and I know it's so cliched to say that, but being able to do what I do at 19 and looking forward to the future is incredible. And I'm very thankful that people have been accepting of me and have respected my work so far, and I hope that it will continue in the future, but I wouldn't change anything. I feel like I was so focused on the music and the lyrics and the melodies, and I had come in so prepared in the studio with this arsenal of songs, and I knew each song inside and out, that I was just ready to go. I kind of like came in firing or trying the best that I could and putting my best foot forward, and I hope that it's apparent, I hope that it came across. I think there's something about these musicians, about these singer-songwriters on the record, that it was, at the end of the day, most importantly, about the music. And that's all that mattered. It wasn't about photo shoots, it wasn't about album packaging, it wasn't about the politics of the music industry, it wasn't about video shoots. It was just about the music and the songs and letting them speak for themselves. So I think that's what was cool also about doing a record like this. Such a throwback. I'm a huge Joan Armatrading fan, and Drop the Pilot was just the #1 idea. It was the first song we recorded, but it was my first idea. Like, even if I didn't kind of continue with the trend and finish making this record as it stands today, it probably would have ended up on some record, just because I'm so in love with the song. I heard Drop the Pilot for the first time probably 4 years ago, and it's been stuck in my mind ever since, of something that I wanted to be a part of and eventually record one day. Where all the magic happened, but it was just so intimate, and being in a studio like this really took the pressure off. It wasn't some really fancy schmancy studio. All the technology that you need is right here. I mean, artists and musicians are recording records in their bedrooms now. So I wanted to have a bit of the homegrown vibe on the album as well. I am a big family girl. I love being around my family. I have a great relationship with my parents and with my brothers, and since the age of 14 and I started off in this industry, both my parents, or one of them at a time, have always been traveling with me, and probably will continue to do so just because I've found I have such a great rapport with them, and I have such a great relationship at an age where I guess it's stereotypical to be rebelling from them in a sense, and being off at college and finding your independence and your freedom. I couldn't be happier than when I'm spending time with them. It's nice. It's just us and the dogs, living all together, trying to find happiness. I have 3 cats, Milo, Chloe, and Zoe, in Orlando. And then I have 3 dogs who travel with me just about everywhere I can take them. 2 are little Yorkies, and their names are Oliver and Winston. Affectionately, Winnie and Sausage, those are their nicknames. And then there's Dexter, who's a pug, a miniature pug. And little Dexy, he is just a character. I love my dogs. The purpose in getting smaller dogs was obviously with the intent of being able to take them wherever I wanted to go, wherever my travels may take me on a movie set, on the road somewhere in some foreign country if I can get them there without quarantine. Oliver, actually, I got for my 17th birthday. He was a surprise to me when I was filming A Walk to Remember. I'd wanted a Yorkie, a little tiny teacup Yorkie, actually, since I met Eve, because she has a little Yorkie and she inspired me to get one. So Oliver was first, and then Winston was 4 or 5 months after that, and then Dexter I got just at the end of last year. And they're a little family. And at first, my parents were actually really upset about me getting the dogs, besides Oliver, because they got him for me.
Hey Mandy, will you sign my bass?
Sure. I have a signature on the guitar here for John Fields. Everyone he's ever worked with has kind of signed this guitar in different places.
She hasn't played bass in a while, though.
Well, it's not just bass players. It's guitar players, drummers, people.
Well, Mandy is definitely going to need a prime space on this guitar.
I wrote Rock On, Thanks, Love, Mandy on here for John Fields. Everyone he's ever worked with has kind of signed this guitar in different places, so it was an honor to have my signature on the guitar. So yeah, this was it. Anticipation was the second song that we recorded for the album. When trying to get together repertoire to end up recording for the album, this was something that was automatic, just came to mind right off the bat. It was one of those songs that I grew up listening to and just really didn't know it was Carly Simon singing it at the end of the day. But I love it. I love what it's talking about. I think it's a really personal song for me. It hit home. I think for people, Anticipation is just so instant. It's an automatic melody. Melodically and lyrically, it's so beautiful that you can't help but be singing along like the second time the chorus comes along. I feel like there's a different air to being, like a different vibe to being a musician, to being a recording artist in this era, in the 70s and in the 80s. Like there was something a little bit more magical than maybe what exists today. Not to kind of write off today, but there's just, it's this unspeakable kind of difference. And I feel like songs today are so cut and dry. You can say I love you, or you can say I'm independent, or you can say I'm breaking up with you, and that's it. And you kind of take it for what it is. Whereas songs that I've been lucky enough to cover on the record, and of that era and of that genre and that generation, go about it in a different language, in a different way, and it makes it almost more appealing. It makes it just magical. Like, what would it have been like to hear that song on the radio? Being a teenager, being my age, you know, in that time, and hearing that song, how would it have affected me? How would I have felt? Like, how would it have changed my life? That's kind of what I think about when I listen to some of these songs. I'm a musical theater geek. I started off at age 9 auditioning for local theater and community theater around Orlando where I grew up, and probably didn't listen to a lot of pop music until I was 12 or 13. I was just Sound of Music, Guys and Dolls, Bye Bye Birdie, West Side Story, everything, all kind of lumped together. I was a big fan, and that ambition still stands today. I have such a desire and need almost to be on Broadway, to feel truly fulfilled in my life. I think just the rush of adrenaline and the opportunity of performing night after night after night with this different situation, with a different audience, and not being yourself, not being on stage performing your own music, kind of stepping back and doing something a little less personal and embodying this character, I think would be amazing. I love doing film. I feel very privileged to be able to do a little bit of both music and film. I think it's a completely different process creatively. Going into the studio and being a recording artist and maintaining that type of schedule is a really different thing, and it takes a lot more out of you, I think, than being an actress and being allowed, you know, the time of spending 3 months on set and being surrounded by people that eventually feel like family to you at the end of the day. I love being able to take time off and take the time out of the schedule a little bit and try something different that challenges me in a different way that music doesn't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I was here on and off for 2 months. The record was actually a pretty easy process and it was fairly quick. I'd never actually done a record in one space with one producer before, so it was a bit of an exciting experience because you really get this rapport going with the people that you're working with, and it's not so halted like stop-start when you're working with different people on, you know, different songs on each record. So it was amazing to kind of come in day after day and see how, you know, my friendship with John kind of grew and how comfortable I became with him each and every day. And it was nice to be a part of the creative process too, to say, you know what, I think the drums need a little bit more kick, or I think the acoustic guitar needs to be up in the song. I think the song just needs to be quicker. We would basically get the idea for each song, and Fields would go away either to Minneapolis or here in LA with all of his musician friends, and he would get the track together kind of rough, and I would come back in the next day and I'd sing like a demo vocal, or I'd just, you know, sing something rough, and then the band would go back in and finish the song and kind of around my vocal, and if we needed to redo anything vocally, I would come back in once the song was kind of completed production-wise. But it was a cool process to like start and like kind of get a little bit of flavor going on the song, and then hearing like this song, like the culmination, like the end result and what the production and how the instruments and what the song basically was going to sound like, and then I could kind of go back and elaborate a little bit more on the vocals that I had put on before.
Senses working overtime.
Senses Working Overtime was one of the last songs we recorded for the record. I love it. It's really an incredible experience to actually play it live. It was one of those songs that I heard for the first time and felt like, wow, there's such a pop smash of a song underneath this really kind of eclectic, eccentric rendition of the song. I wanted to be a part of it, and I was kind of amazed that no one had gone as far as to cover it as of yet.
Church bells softly chime.
I think the life of a recording artist is so hectic. Plans can change at the drop of a hat. In 5 minutes, you could be scheduled for another interview. You could be on a plane going to Hong Kong. I mean, it's insane. And that fast-paced lifestyle, it becomes like this acquired thing in your life, and you learn to thrive off of it in a sense. But you want to just halt things and slow things down for a little bit, and I'm very lucky that I've had the opportunity to kind of make films and live on a set in one constant and consistent place for 3 months and make some new friends and get outside of myself in such a selfish frame of mind, I guess, in a sense, of always talking about yourself or presenting your music to people. It's so personal, it's so taxing in a sense. Making a film, you're forgetting who you are and completely embodying a different person that you get to learn about and ultimately create. So it's an amazing and completely backwards process to being a recording artist, I think. Prepping for a movie, absolutely. You work with a coach, you work inside your own head a lot. I love working with someone who helps you pull stuff out of your own mind. And ultimately, when you're creating a character, it's coming from you. And it's kind of fun, because you get to think of their astrological sign, and you get to think of their favorite color and what music they listen to and what they wear and what posters are on their bedroom wall. And it's all coming from you. So it's coming from an honest and genuine place when you're on screen. And I love getting into character. Prepping for A Walk to Remember, my character, Jamie, wears an old sweater throughout most of the film and doesn't wear a lot of makeup and doesn't pride herself on her outward appearance. And so a couple of days before I left to go shoot the film in North Carolina, I bought like a thrift store sweater, and I kind of ran around and did my errands and did what I had to do throughout the day as Jamie, and as Jamie would. And you start to embody this character, and you start acting differently and treating people differently, and It's not this intense method acting of completely going there, but it does help you at the end of the day ultimately get into character a little bit more, and I like that. Whole of the Moon is my favorite song on the record. It is what I like to call purple. That's how I describe Whole of the Moon. It's like a big can of purple paint, just really thick. I love the song so instantaneously, like there was just some attraction automatically, and it was like checking off, like, okay, that's another song for the record, done, seal the deal.
You saw the whole of the moon, the whole of the moon.
As weird as it might sound, I think one of the films that really kind of inspired me or motivated me to eventually work in this industry was Beaches. I'm a huge Bette Midler fan, and I always loved Beaches for kind of the premise of Bette Midler's character, how she started off as a younger child and this entertainer in Atlantic City, and she ended up being this huge Broadway star and recording artist. And being such a big fan of Bette Midler, I felt like it was very true to who she was as well, so that kind of inspired me to, I was just in awe.
Don't you feel like trying something new?
Joe Jackson is something else. His music is something that I'm still investigating. I'm fascinated by him and how he's kind of involved in this post-punk movement, but classically trained and has such a wonderful voice. And I loved Breaking Us in Two. Again, one of those songs that is universal and speaking about things that contemporary songs are speaking about today, but in a wittier way.
There's always something breaking us in
I don't know if I have a favorite movie ever. I like to laugh. I'm a big fan of comedies, so anything from Christopher Guest films like Best in Show or Waiting for Guffman to Election to Groundhog Day to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, those are probably a collection of my favorites. Like those 5 or 6 DVDs are constantly in rotation on my DVD player. I think each film is a different experience. I feel like starting off in The Princess Diaries and then A Walk to Remember, my appreciation for the craft and my love of the teamwork and how everybody kind of comes together to assemble a film and to kind of, it's not just about you. It's a creative process that involves so many people kind of coming together to make this final product that I'm still learning, and I still have so much to learn about the film world that I feel like I'm getting more and more out of each experience because I know more and more what to expect. I did a small independent film almost like a year and a half ago, and Debbie Harry was actually in the movie. I didn't get to work with her, but at that point I was kind of unfamiliar with Blondie's music. You know, I knew Heart of Glass and I knew Call Me, but I wasn't like too familiar, so as soon as I finished the movie, I kind of ran to the record store and picked up Blondie's greatest hits. Right now, the rest of my year looks pretty hectic. I have this album coming out. I'm shooting a film throughout the summer. There's possibly other film opportunities presented this fall at some point. Beyond that, I don't really know. I kind of love living the lifestyle where things come to me on the fly, like things just end up coming to fruition. I heard about Saved, and 2 weeks later, I was on set for the movie. So things just end up panning out and working out. Other opportunities, I get bummed out because they don't end up coming to fruition, but somehow things always have a way of panning out and working out for the best. Good stuff. I was lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time. So my advice to people, just from my own personal experience, would be to not pass up on any good opportunity, whether it's singing in your school choir, singing the national anthem at a high school football game, being in a local play. Just go out there and do what you do and be proud of it and have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously, and don't take what you do or what you want to do too seriously, because life is too short.
Drop the pilot, drop the monkey, drop the manhood. I'm the easy rider. Don't use your army to fight a losing battle. Animal, mineral, physical, spiritual. I'm the one you need. I'm the one you need. I'm the one you need.
Having this new record be so personal and really writing it and living it and having all of these experiences, and then now being able to listen to it all put together and all finished. I mean, people that want to hear it are going to hear it now, and I think learn so much about me and where I'm at in my life right now. It's just a really honest record, and I feel just excited. I can't wait to get out there. I haven't traveled and toured in a while, and I'm just ready to get back into it again and show everybody this kind of like new side of me that I feel really comfortable with. I hope people love this record and relate to it and understand. And something that I have to look forward to is just really being myself and having people, learn new things about me, because I feel like there's a little bit of a preconceived image that I'm just this really nice, normal girl, and I am, but there's stuff behind all that as well, and I want to share that with people because I think they'll relate to it and understand. Well, I was born in Houston, and when I was about 4, we moved to San Antonio. My sister started getting involved in like ballet and school plays and singing in the choir at school, and I'm like 2.5 years younger than her, so everything that she wanted to do, I wanted to do as well. And it basically was just kind of like that, she wanted to get involved in acting, and there was an acting workshop not too far away from our house, and I was the tomboy, I just always wanted to be outside and always active and doing sports and stuff like that. And Haley was a little bit different, she was more like creative and really girly, and she was having like so much fun during these acting classes, and she would come home and teach me what she'd learned, and I was like, I want to do it too, and because I wanted to be just like her. It really happened like that. We would see little things like posted on the bulletin board at the workshop, like random casting call, come here, come there, modeling job, like show up, audition, and after about a couple months of us going to this class, my mom started noticing how much more talkative I would be and not as shy, and I would, go up to anybody and start a conversation, and just really like opened both of us up a lot. And she was like so impressed by it, and we would start bugging her like, Mom, will you take us to this thing? It's this weekend, and she's like, okay. And we just we're very persistent with making it known that we wanted to do this. That's when we started coming out to LA. It's quite funny because when we first got out here, it was kind of like this whole scam thing, like we met this woman and pay her, $2,000 and everything's gonna be set up for you out here, and we have no idea how any of this stuff works, and of course we get out here and nothing is set up for us. We don't have an agent, we don't have a manager, we don't have auditions, we just have a place to stay. So she did this to like a couple families, and most of them just packed up and went home and was like bummed out, and we're like, well, we have this place and we have our homeschooling set up for 2 months. So we stayed, and we were going on auditions, and my mom like found this bookstore, how to get all this information on the business and meet people and get an agent. And Haley actually booked a commercial, and I booked a commercial, and we were like, oh, this is easy. Like, we're good at this. We got it down, you know? I think I booked a couple more commercials, but then nothing else. Nothing for a long time, you know? And we were like, oh, I guess it's not as easy as we thought, you know? And we went back to Texas, and then we would come back, and it was like nothing for a couple years. And then finally we started to both kind of book guest spots on TV shows. And I booked this movie that was a made-for-TV movie called Casper Meets Wendy. It was such a great experience because it was just a really quick lesson in how it's all done, you know? And after that, things just started getting more and more permanent living in Los Angeles because we were working more and had to be here more, and it just kind of never stopped since then. When I booked Lizzie McGuire, a couple months before that, I had booked a TV show that I did the pilot for, and it was called Daddy-O. After the pilot, I got replaced by like 2 kids instead of 1. I don't know if they were twins or what the story was, but I was just like, oh my God, I got fired. They hate me. I was so kind of like embarrassed, I guess, that I felt like I did a bad job. So I was like, I want to go home. I want to go see my friends, and I want to like start going to school again. And my sister wanted to stay out here, so my mom stayed out here with her, and I went back with my dad in Texas and started going to school, and just for a couple months, you know, and we were gonna figure out something else. And my mom calls me one day and she's like, Hilary, there's this audition that Disney Channel's called for. And they knew me because I had auditioned for many things for them before. And my mom was like, Hilary, they really, really wanna see you. And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm already in Texas, I don't wanna do it. And she's like, okay, you know, and she calls back later on that day. She's like, Susan called them and told them that you weren't in town anymore and you weren't acting anymore. And they were like, what? But she's perfect for this. We really, really wanna see her. And they're like, we'll send a ticket. And I was like, I'll send a ticket, awesome. I get a free trip to LA to go see all my friends just for like a couple days. And I thought it was great. So I went, and I didn't really go over my lines at all. And I just showed up and read, and then the casting director was like, you are terribly unprepared, aren't you? And I was like, you know, and then it kind of like put that back in me, like that challenge that I always had, you know, that drive to want to go in and like nail an audition and do a really good job and convince someone that I could be someone else. And when she said that to me, I was like, it's on, you know? And I like went over my lines and did everything I could to be really good. And I came back the next day, and she's like, okay, get a call back, you know, you're gonna come and see producers. And it was a process of like 5 or 6 auditions, and then I got it, and I just stayed in LA and started filming the pilot. And I tried to not let myself get too excited because of what had happened in the past about the TV show I'd worked on. And then when we started filming, it was just like nonstop. When I decided to be a singer, it was right when Lizzie McGuire was finished. So I had filmed the TV show for 2 years, and we worked really hard. We didn't work like a normal TV show. We did like something crazy, like 35 episodes in one season. There was a ton of young artists at the time, like singers and stuff, that I would be around when I would do signings, you know, with the cast for Lizzie McGuire. And people that I listened to and knew and heard on the radio, you know, and would be around sometimes if we were at like a work thing together. And I was watching some of them perform one day, and I was like, if they can do that, I can do that, you know? And I don't know if I can sing, but I could try. And I remember I took a couple voice classes when I was younger, just because I was taking acting classes and stuff. And I told my mom, and she was like, oh, great, here we go again, you know? She had no idea about anything about the music business, and neither did I, and we didn't know anybody. And I met my manager just randomly one day, and I told him, I was like, I want to be a singer. And he was like, can you sing? I was like, I can try. And I just sang for him, you know? He's a German guy. He's really funny. He's like, I want to work with you. And then we started shopping around to different record labels, and I got signed, and I started making a record. So it was really exciting, and just a whole new experience that I never knew that I could do or really wanted to do. But once I kind of got in the studio and then a year later started performing in front of people, I was like hooked. My first album we called Metamorphosis. It's so funny when I look back at my records at the time, I thought it was the coolest thing to have a record. And we named it Metamorphosis because it was like a big change for me. And it was interesting being an actress and having everyone know who you are from your TV show, and then putting out a record. From my experiences, I feel like it's almost more accepted to be a singer and then turn into an actress. It seems like it's easier or something, because I had the hardest time really trying to get people to like pay attention that I wanted to be a singer. And I think it was really just like my fans from my TV show, because it was such a huge success, you know, that they all went out and bought my record, and then people couldn't really deny that my record was successful and that people liked my music, you know? And then they started like playing me a little bit on the radio here and there, and it was #1 on the Billboard charts the second week it was out. When it was told to me, I was like, that's cool, but what does it mean? I didn't know anything about the Billboard 200 chart and about how sales work and about everything, you know, and I learned it pretty quick after Metamorphosis came out. We had 3 singles, and the first one was Why Not, which was on the soundtrack for the Lizzie McGuire movie. And then my first single that I released on my own was So Yesterday, and then Come Clean. It all happened really fast, but I remember just picking the single, and we did it with the label, and then I was shooting a video and leaving for tour and going to all these radio stations and giving them my single to play on the radio, and it was just really exciting. And then the same thing happened with Come Clean, and we shot this cool video, and I got to hear my songs on the radio and sing it for all these people that like knew it, and it was cool. And I was really lucky because I wasn't writing any back then because I didn't really even know to. You know, I was just like, I want to sing. And my manager and my label, you know, they made it to where I got to work with really great people who wrote great songs and helped me a lot in the studio. And of course, you know, I listened to the songs and said, no, I don't like that one. Yes, I like this one. Maybe we could, you know, I got to be a part of it, just not as much as I am now, which I like. It was all like a pretty slow learning process. Kara Diaguati and John Shanks wrote Come Clean and did the music to it. And I worked with Kara a little bit for some other songs on my record and with John. And I remember hearing the song and being like, what is this exactly about? And I would just listen to it and it would be like stuck in my head, and I started to like get the words and relate to it, and it just all of a sudden made sense. And it's always tough, which I didn't realize back then, but how can you sing a song that someone else wrote? Sometimes it doesn't always work because you're like, this doesn't relate to me. I didn't experience these things. But everything that I put on my record, I really did experience and relate to. So sometimes it just works like that someone writes a song that you're like, I totally connect with this.
Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Let it wash away my sanity. 'Cause I wanna feel the thunder, I wanna scream. Let the rain fall down, I'm coming clean. I'm coming clean.
My second record was self-titled. We called it Hilary Duff, and it was made really quickly, but I loved it. It was like, you know, my second record, I got to be a little bit more a part of the process. I got to write a little bit. I wrote a song with my sister, and learning a little bit more about how recording things work and what this sounds like and what that sounds like. And my manager's really good with that stuff, so it was cool being around him and getting to learn from him about that, and then other people I was working with. I was also filming a movie at the time, and then this was like my big tour, my big US tour, which we were like playing arenas and they were all sold out, and it was so exciting, but my record wasn't even finished yet. So I had a single and we had to shoot the video on my very first tour date, which was in Massachusetts. And we decided to do it like that because we had no time. And we used Chris Applebaum, and the single is called Fly.
To try, 'cause it's your time to fly.
We decided to do like this whole kind of like live action thing where right before the show, I had to fly to New York, do some work, do some like talk show, TV show type things. We took a private plane back to Massachusetts that day after we had been rehearsing, did the show, and he filmed a bunch of footage of like all of the fans, the crew running in and out during the day. And he filmed me getting ready, all of us backstage, all my band, how everything works. And it was actually like one of my favorite videos because it was just a really honest video because it was like exactly what I was doing at the time. Nothing fake. It was all real, and it was just a crazy like whirlwind, and that was Fly. And then we kicked off the tour and we were gone all summer. It was a sold out tour, which was so exciting. And the album came out and we were doing like interviews all day long and doing shows at night. Then right after my tour was over in September, I flew to Europe and kind of introduced my music over there for the first time, which I had never done. And my TV show had really just gotten there because everything's a little bit later. So a lot of people knew me first from my music, which I really liked because I was kind of done with my TV show at the time and wanted people to see me as a singer. And then went to Japan and did the same thing and came back and toured Canada over the winter time.
In a moment, everything can change. Feel the wind on your shoulder. For a minute, all the world can wait. Let go of yesterday.
It's such a team effort being out on the road and making a record and I guess everything with my job because I do so many things that for a while there I was just showing up and they were telling me what I was doing and then I was like, this isn't cool anymore. Like, I want to know, I want to be a part of it. I want to help make decisions, and everyone was cool with it and everybody understands, you know, because it's kind of like you want a little bit of independence and freedom and more control of what I'm doing. And I feel like on that tour is really when it started to kick in and I started to grow and be more curious about, you know, my business and what goes on to make a tour work and stuff. And kind of at first I feel like everyone thought, I want to do this all by myself, which was never the case, never could handle that, never want to, you know, but I just want to be a part of it. And now it's like they got it and we work so well together and we're like a big team. So the next single that I released was Our Lips Are Sealed, which was with my sister Haley.
Can you hear them? They talk about us, telling lies. Well, that's no surprise. Can you see them? See right through them. They have no shield, no secrets to reveal. It doesn't matter what they say. In the jealous games people play. Our lips are sealed.
It's a really cute video, and Haley's obviously my sister, but she's also my best friend, so us get to work together was really fun. And I had been on tour for a while, so I hadn't seen her a lot. So she flew up to Canada when I was getting ready to kick off my winter tour up there, and we shot the video. We just got to like goof around and have fun and be sisters, and we played a couple pranks like during the video shoot and then in the video. Like we did this funny thing, because Haley and I are crazy when we get together. But we were like in this old car and these guys pull up next to us and we're at this, I think it was like an old drive-in type thing. And we like throw these pickles in it, like, because these guys are like staring at us and it like lands on his eyes on the window. It was fun just doing that whole process of like getting ready to shoot a video. Haley and I got to do this huge wardrobe fitting together and we figure out what like looks good, because we're gonna be standing next to each other and what part she sings, what part I sing. In the actual Go-Go's video, they end up in a fountain, like with bubbles and like playing around. And so we ended up in a fountain. But I bet when the Go-Go's did it, it wasn't like minus something degrees outside in Canada. It was freezing. But they made the water warm in the fountain and put all these bubbles everywhere. And Haley and I had to just like go for it and like jump in. And we actually ended up staying in there for a long time and having a lot of fun. So it wasn't so bad. And it's not every day you get to like jump in a fountain in a public place, you know, so it was fun. My next record was called Most Wanted, and the single that we chose off of that record was called Wake Up. It was a really, really fun concept for a video. The song is about everybody wanting the same thing. No matter where you are in the world, like some people just need to like go out and forget about all the pressure and all the stress that they have and just go out and have a good time and forget all the negativity and just have fun.
I
So it's really a catchy song, but it talks about being in all my favorite places in the world, which is Tokyo and Paris and London and New York. And we got to do all different looks. And we did this really funky, like New York underground type club. And I had like really dark eyes, and that was like my New York look. And then I had this really short black bob and this total Japanese ensemble in a place that looked kind of like a Japanese club. Then we did a very Parisian look with a tiny little dress and fishnets and red lips and like a beret. We had an English look that was more of like a fun scarf and just like kind of messy hair and cool, like in the back of a English cab with friends. And it was really fun because I just got to experiment with all these different looks in the video, and it was very high energy, and I loved that. Every look that I had in the video and everything that I did wasn't so far away from my real life, and how, you know, when my personality gets a certain way, I like to change. I like to look different, dress different. It's all very creative, and it got to show so many different sides of me, and it's all things that I have fun doing is being creative and looking different and playing with your personality, you know?
Wake up on a Saturday night. Could be New York, maybe Hollywood and Vine. London, Paris, maybe Tokyo. There's something going on anywhere I go. Wake up on a Saturday night. Could be New York, maybe Hollywood and Vine. London, Paris, maybe Tokyo.
When I did the new songs for my Most Wanted record, I didn't even really know what I wanted at the time. I just knew that when I heard these songs, they were really catchy, and I liked them, and I thought it was kind of like a cool direction to go from this kind of like pop rock sound that I was doing before, and then moving into this kind of still pop music, but adding like this semi-dance edge, but still with all like real instruments. Beat of My Heart was a totally different song from anything I had done before, because it was just very dance, pop, techno-ish, you know, and nothing I had ever really been into before, but I knew when I heard it, I was like, whoa, I really like this, and I think this could be a single. So we shot a really cool video, and I wanted to do something kind of mod and not robotic, but like just different, you know, not super personal, because I feel like everything that I had done before was really just me and my personality, and I kind of wanted to like do a character. So the vision of having everything be see-through, you know, like the instruments and the amps and my microphone, and the way I held it and the way I walked would be different. And I sat in this bubble, which was like this chair thing for some of the video, and it was all these really cool special effects. It was just really interesting. It was definitely one of the most difficult videos to shoot, because everything had to be really precise and perfect, and I've never really worked like that before. I never was like a choreographed artist where I was taught how to dance and do this. I would just do what I felt. And so for this, it was like for the first time, it was really like, okay, move like this, do like this, and we got it done, and it was fun. It turned out really cool and had this really weird colors and very fluid video, and it totally matched the song. When I heard that altogether, you know, worldwide, I had sold like a total of 13 million records, it was so strange. I still don't believe it. It just seems kind of impossible for me, you know. I don't feel like someone who could do that, you know, and I found it in a really strange way too. It wasn't like I had been keeping count or I even knew, you know, because I was so busy, you don't even have time to think or like really enjoy this and be like, oh my gosh, 3 years ago, if I could have known that I was gonna do this, I would have died. And I feel so lucky, and it's really, it makes me feel like I do this for a reason. When I decided to name my record Dignity, it felt like a really strong title. Dignity is something that my mom has always really tried to instill in my sister and I, and it's not something that you can be given or that you can just get or that you're born with. It's something that you have to work on. It's not always the easiest road to take, and it's something that I hope to always strive to have. Before I released my album Dignity, we released a single called Play With Fire, and it was really just kind of a tease, like a hint to get people into my new sound and what it's gonna be like. And a lot of the songs on the record are different from Play With Fire, but it just matches the whole kind of like dance, electro mixed with a little bit of rock sounding vibe. When I started to work on this record, I was at a place in my life that I really wanted to work on a movie because I had been touring for such a long time, and it can be really draining. It's so exciting. It's like probably one of my favorite things to do, but you need a break from it, you know, to like kind of find your passion again. And I was just wanting to write because I knew that I wanted it to be all about me doing it.
And you can just love me, feed the flame. If you want me back again, burn to the sky, higher and higher. Baby, can you play with fire? Love me, if you want me.
Just to look back on my life and like some of the years and the experiences that I've had, and be able to sit down and just write them out and not feel shy or embarrassed if it sounds bad or good, because you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But to like open that part of myself up was really exciting because I ended up finding out that I can do it, you know, and it's easy and exhilarating, you know. It's so freeing to be able to look inside yourself and see things that affect you so much that you've held on to them for long enough to write about them. We had some songs done, and then I got this call from my agent that said, okay, I'm sending a script over. I don't know if you're gonna like it because you have to play a pop star, but read it. And I was like, pop star? I don't want to play a pop star, you know? He's like, I want you to talk to these people. And so I read the script. I talked to John Cusack, who wrote it and starred in the movie, and he's like, do you want to do this? Because we'd really love to have you come down here to Bulgaria and do this movie. And I was like, I really, really want to do it, you know? And the movie's called War, Inc., and I was up there for about 2 months. So then I came back home, had some time off for Christmas, and then got back full into like making the record. I wasn't doing anything else but writing and being in the studio and listening to tracks and, you know, working with people on the record and figuring out exactly what these songs are going to be about. I'm so happy that I took that break to make the movie because lots of like personal things and experiences happened in my life that if I hadn't have experienced, wouldn't have made my record the same. A lot of the record is really, really serious, but a lot of it's done very tongue-in-cheek too, like some of the songs. It's just like so my personality and so me and so everything I think. With Love is the first single off of my new record, Dignity. It's totally dancey and fun and upbeat and just catchy. And I have a fragrance that's called With Love. And when we came up for the promotion of what we wanted to do for the fragrance, we decided to shoot like a little commercial that looks like a video. You know, so people are like watching TV and commercials are on, but then like this mini clip of like a video that like takes you into the story really quickly happens. And I wrote the song for the commercial and the fragrance and then put it on my record because I liked it so much. And it really just talks about being in a relationship and listening to the person that you're with and that you love. And even though it seems like you're not listening sometimes, you really are, because you know what he's saying comes from a place of love. thinking about kind of like where I am now in my life and the way that I look and how comfortable I feel with everything and how kind of just normal it's all become. Seems like such a long way away from where I started. You know, I remember shooting my very first video and being really nervous and not knowing what I was doing and feeling like, is this me? Am I, you know, I want to be myself, but I also need to be a little bit bigger, and are people gonna like this? And then just kind of having so many experiences since then shooting videos, you just grow, you know, and it's like a natural progression that you get more comfortable. It's funny because I look back and I see things that I used to do, if it was like a facial expression I used to make or something, some dance movement that I would make. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I do that. But it's like really funny because you learn, and I'm sure hopefully 10 years from now I'll be able to look back at this time right now and say, oh my God, I can't believe I wore that. I thought that was so cool. It's just all my experiences and the way that my life has gone, and I'm really happy and I feel really lucky, and to be able to have it all documented like it is exciting, you know. I feel like a very, very lucky girl, and I feel like I'm in a good place where I work hard and I have a life outside of my work that I have all kinds of different experiences in, and you know, I have a great family, and all of those things really help me be who I am throughout my life and my career.
But life could be so sweet. But why you wanna be like that? As if there's nothing new. You're not fooling no one, you're not even fooling you. So walk a little slower and open up your eyes. Sometimes it's so hard to see the good things passing by. There may never be a sign, no flashing neon light telling you to make your move or when the time is right. So why not take a crazy chance? Why not you wanna. You could change your clothes if you wanna. If you change your mind, well, that's the way it goes. But I'm gonna keep your jeans and your old black hat, 'cause I wanna. They look good on me. You're never gonna get them back. At least not today, not today, not today. 'Cause if it's over, let it go, and come tomorrow we will see. So yesterday, I'm just a bird that's already flown away. Laughed it off and let it go, and when you wake up it will seem so yesterday, haven't you heard that I'm gonna be okay? Okay. You could say you're bored if you want. You could act real tough if you want. You could say you're torn, but I've heard enough. Thank you, you made my mind up for me when you started to ignore me. Do you see a single tear? It isn't gonna happen here. At least not today, not today, not today. 'Cause if it's over, let it go, and come tomorrow we will see. So yesterday, I'm just a bird that's already flown away. Laughed it off and let it go, and when you wake up it will seem so yesterday, haven't you heard that I'm gonna be okay? If you're over me, I'm already over you. If it's all been done, what is left to do? How can you hang up if the line is dead? If you wanna walk, I'm a step ahead. If you're moving on, I'm already gone. If the light is off, then it isn't on. At least not today, not today, not today. 'Cause if it's over, let it go, and come tomorrow we will see. So yesterday, I'm just a bird that's already flown away. Laughed it off and let it go, and when you wake up it will seem so yesterday, haven't you heard? It's over, let it go, and come tomorrow we will sing. So yesterday, I'm just a bird that's already flown away. Laughed it off and let it go, and when you wake up it will seem so yesterday, haven't you heard that I'm gonna be okay? Let's go back to the beginning, back to when the earth, the sun, the stars all aligned. 'Cause perfect didn't feel so perfect. Trying to fit a square into a circle was my life. I defy. Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Let it wash away I'm coming. Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Let it wash away my sanity. 'Cause I wanna feel the thunder, I wanna scream. Let the rain fall down, I'm coming clean. I'm coming clean. I'm coming clean. Let the rain fall, let the rain fall, let the rain fall. I'm coming clean. Let's go back to the beginning. Can you hear them? There's people talking, they talk about me. They know my name, they think they know everything, but they don't know anything about me. Give me a dance floor, give me a DJ, play me a record, forget what they say, 'cause I need to go, need to get away tonight.
The concept for this album is very simple. Basically, I'm trying to capture the young look of Hilary Duff and the sexy woman side of Hilary Duff. We photographed this when she's 19 right now. She's going to be 20 in September 2007. So I'm trying to capture a documentary and at the same time a fashion way of capturing her in a different look, in a different way. This is what I always try to look for when I work with anybody, regardless it's an artist or it's not an artist or a model. I'm trying to capture the deep spirits in the person, and at the same time, I hope to also capture the purity in the mind. So if anybody will understand my pictures and feels that is the greatest thing, I hope that would be a great thing for me. I really hope people can get impressed and get inspired from a good portrait. So basically, the entire concept is dignity, but the approach is a portrait of a beautiful woman.